Hello, microphone check 1 2 1 2. Microphone check 1 2 1 2. 1 2 3 1 2. 1 2 3 1 2. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to another edition of Sarah Media Live on YouTube and Facebook, and welcome to the special edition of Football Afcon 2025. Well, I will not say sorry I'm late again, but as you can see, I'm wearing my Ivory Coast t-shirt. I hope so I get for wearing until the game done, because if I not wear until the game done, I have a problem. But anyway, to your shocking news and an amazing one, Ivory Coast is one down. Just about the 5 minutes of the first half, Egypt don't score, and there seems to be on a very strong attacking side right now as the game just they unfold. 10 minutes gone, that was offside. The Pharaohs are not taking any chances, and they've been very strong in the first 10 minutes of the match so far. Ivory Coast is trailing by 1 goal to nil, and they have been on a very strong defensive side since the match don't start about 10 minutes ago. So welcome back once more, and welcome to this edition of Football Afcon 2025. Interesting thing happening right now, because I believe, say, if you are watching, please share, please send in your comments. Sorry to my brother earlier on. He sent a comment, but I didn't see the comment. So this time around, I did make sure say I get me comments. My comments board up. It was up the last time, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to respond to his message. So thank you very much for watching, and welcome Amidou, and welcome to another edition of today's quarterfinals, really between Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire. I am representing Cote d'Ivoire today, and Cote d'Ivoire is playing against the Pharaohs of Egypt. So basically, this is where we are. And like I said earlier on, this is going to be a very interesting match for all of us to follow through. So if you're watching out there, please share and please send in your comments and suggestions, because this game not get for funny. This game not get for funny, oh. It not get for funny at all, because the way how things don't unfold right now, we can see the fact that Ivory Coast is really chasing the game right now. And the Pharaohs, you don't joke with them. If they take an early lead, they most of the time maintain that lead. We hope it's not going to happen, because we want one or two West African country for go represent win at the final of this particular AFCON 2025, where they take place in Morocco. So as you all know, the last game done, and Nigeria don't qualify for play against Morocco, host nation, which is going to be a very interesting and challenging match for the Super Eagles and Morocco. Egypt is on the attack once more, and defended well by Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire in the ball position right now. They're knocking it around. They're starting to build their confidence. I know their confidence has been dented in the first 5 minutes of the match, and Egypt are actually pushing the pressure, putting the pressure on Cote d'Ivoire, and Cote d'Ivoire is a little bit struggling. But this is just the early stages. 13 minutes gone of the first half, so you don't take anything for granted. You just wait and see what happens until the end of the first half, and eventually the end of the full 90 minutes plus extra time, and you could see exactly Udago emerge as the winner. Cote d'Ivoire are the defending champions, and we all know how they struggled for get to the final with their host time 2 years ago. And we believe, say, for that reason, they are not coming here as underdogs. They're coming as one of the favorites, because they are the defending champion. So for the fact that you are a defending champion means you've been, then will put you in a better position in terms of rating, because you cannot be underestimated. So far, so good. Cote d'Ivoire, they trail by 1 goal to nil. They haven't been able to penetrate into the half of the Pharaohs, but I think they're trying to do so now by gaining possession in the midfield, and they've just received or got a throw um, in the 5-10 yards away from the center line into the half of the Egyptians. As you can see, like I said, I'm representing Cote d'Ivoire, and the reason why I make I wear this jersey now, because now some of the memorabilia then we are collect, we are buy on my way back from the Afcon we happened Ivory Coast 2 years ago. And I believe say most of the memorabilia they were buy, I brought in some gifts for few people, and I buy two jersey. One the home, and one the national traditional orange jersey we think you always wear. It was a very nice experience whilst I was there during that period of time. And I believe say most of the thing that we I try for do, I did it well. I had good friendship relationship with people there. And I can see if I go for call one of me Ivory Coast friend them. We I believe say they watch this match right now. But in English not too bad, but it try. So I go see how best I can get some for can make some quick statements on this particular match where then just don't go one down. Unfortunately for them, they are going to trail on this particular match. So last, if I can able forget my friend on the phone and ask him waiting in take so far. And I say he go to watch from the screams. He's not in Morocco, but I believe say he could be screwed on to in scream right now. Well, the last time we Morocco win, he's sending me pictures and videos of them celebrating. And I believe say he not go be disappointed right now for sending me another picture if Ivory Coast equalize. So the phone they ring right now, let's see if I go forget I'm online and ask him what's in the intake on this particular match so far. And if I can get him, I'll be able for make he say some few words to you guys, although English not that great, but it's try. Because then you always tell you say this is Cote d'Ivoire. You either understand or you don't understand. So far 11 attacks on Ivory Coast side and 6 on the Pharaohs. Ivory Coast is on the attack again once more. Yes, what is it gonna be? Oh, nice save by the Egyptians, and he goes back out for a goal kick. That was a brilliant defensive venture by the Pharaohs of Egypt, and Ivory Coast though increased the pace. That was a slip by the Egyptians, and it was a cross from the left flank, and it was a good block by the Egyptian defense. I bet Daniel is not going to be able to answer the call right now, but I'll let him go. I'll call him back later on, as I believe say he go fit inside the corner for provoke him because because Ivory Coast is one down, right? So basically, Ivory Coast don't step up the gear, and in the sky for see how best they can able for normalize the goal line and equalize within the next what few minutes, 17 minutes gone of the first half, and I can see Ivory Coast don't begin push the pedal for keep Egypt now their own bay. So far so good. This game is going to be one of the most interesting games because you have two great nations. Egypt has the best record for Nations Cup. They've won it possibly more than any other country, followed by who's is it followed by Algeria also? I'm not too sure, but I think Egypt has the best record of the Nations Cup. They have won it more than any other country in Africa. And they've struggled over the past couple of Nations Cup. They haven't been able to win it. They've gone to a final or two that I'm aware of. But since then, it has been a mixture of Ivory Coast now on the rampage. They've just lost it to the midfield of Egypt, and Egypt again. Ivory Coast is in possession for the second time. They're still pushing. This game is getting the tempo is rising high, and Ivory Coast don't step up the gear for put the game to the Pharaohs. Well, that's a cross in the 18-yard box, and it goes out for a corner kick to the Elephants of Ivory Coast. A very interesting match, like I said, and I believe say most of what's in the happen right now. Now some of the things they expect for see at this level of the African Cup of Nations in Morocco. It's not easy, it's not funny for make you get some nations they really perform for this particular tournament, and the way how they don't perform so far has been great. It's unlucky for some of those that have already qualified for the World Cup, but still not able to be able to make it to the top level of the African tournament. But yes, still they have already made themselves through to the World Cup. And one of those nations are Ghana, but unfortunately, they did not qualify for the Nations Cup. Can you imagine? So it is very much interesting. Nigeria don't go semi-final, but I don't think no Nigeria didn't qualify for the World Cup. No, they didn't. So it's very much interesting to see how this they unfold because the one they will qualify we don't go so far. Morocco now one, we don't qualify for the World Cup. I think Algeria too qualified for the World Cup, or Tunisia. I'm not too sure, but I think it's Tunisia, not Algeria. But I'm not too sure. I'll come back and check that records. But so far so good. Ivory Coast is trailing by 1 goal to nil, and I believe say this is going to be a very interesting match. All right, so we're not watching and see what is happening. Salah on the ball. This is going to possibly likely be the last Nations Cup for Mo Salah, as I possibly understand. Say he's making a move to one of the Arab countries, them for go end up in professional career, as he takes a cross and headed away by the Moroccan defender who came all the way from his own half. It could have been 2-0, and that was not a free header. And the Ivorian goalkeeper came out but was not able to make contact. And the ball was headed over the crossbar by the Egyptian defender who came for a set piece. So far, so good. Ivory Coast is now in ball possession again, and they are knocking it around. But this has been a very tough challenge for Ivory Coast, because I don't think they were expecting this early goal, and it was a slip by one of their defenders where he lost the ball into the legs of the Pharaohs. The Pharaohs are holding on to the ball tight when they get possession, and people like Mo Salah can, pardon me, can twist and turn in your half without actually getting hold of him at any given point in time. So far, so good. Ivory Coast is on the attack again once more. A long pass right across the pitch. Sometimes you call that a square pass, but again, it gets into the foot of the Ivory Coast centre back. And now they are knocking it around. Back to the left flank again. Is it going to be across to the 18-yard box of the Pharaohs? Yes, he's dipping one, dipping two. Yes, now the cross comes. Oh no, unfortunately, he landed on the wrong side of the Ivorian attacker, and a flip. Oh, again, headed out by. That's a nice volley, but blocked by the Pharaohs. This match is going to be very interesting, and the tension is actually rising from every minute on the clock. So far, another cross again into the half of the Pharaohs, headed out for a goal kick in favor of the Pharaohs of Egypt. This is not going to be an easy match. Mo Salah alongside Man City, one of their greatest midfielders, is on point as the goal scorer. Ivory Coast have a couple of new names, possibly one of the youngest team in the tournament so far is the Ivorians. South Africa too have a very young team, because most of the players that were in for the last Nations Cup were players within their 18s, 20s, and 22, I think. And so far, so good. I think Ivory Coast seems to have the youngest team in this tournament, and backed up by a few more of the Eastern African countries or Central African countries where you represent. So as we now see what is happening, Egypt has taken the early lead in the first 5 minutes of the match. They had a goal with a flip or with a slip of one of the Ivorian defenders. And now Ivory Coast is on the attack. He's got like 4 Egyptian all over him, and he lost it to the Pharaohs. This game not for funny, or this game not easy at all, at all, at all, at all, at all, at all. And the way things are going, we can see the Egyptian coach, who is very much passionate, and he used to be a striker for the national team and became the coach. He's been there for a couple of years now, and he has groomed most of the players who are now playing for Egypt. He has been with them for possibly 5 to 10 years, and I think he has done extremely well with this group of boys that he has mentored. And actually, Ivory Coast on the attack again once more. Right, that Ivory Coast is continuously playing square balls on the pitch, and it seems as if they've got some power and strength on the right, and they should be taking big advantage of it, because it seems to be switching the play from left to right, but I don't think it's making much of a difference at all. That's a nice one too, and a cross comes over and blocks by the Egyptian wingback. Right, these are Ivory Coast players who possibly were on the bench for the last Afcon, and I mean the last Afcon, and they've now been able to make a full representation within the past 2 years, when some of them were on the bench, and now they have proven their worth. That's a cross, and he goes into the legs of the Ivorian striker, and he mistimed it, and he lost it slightly, and defended well by the Pharaohs of Egypt. This game gets tension. As you can see, I am moving on my seat. I am not sitting still because the match is keeping me on my toes. Imagine if I was standing. And I remember I was on the pitch side when Ivory Coast were playing almost all their matches, and even at the semi-final and the final and the last leg of the first round, I saw that match as well. And I traveled all the way, and that's a cross headed out by the Egyptian defenders. And Ivory Coast is still in possession. Like I said, they are taking the game on to the Egyptian right now, and they have been in full possession. And that's a quick 1-2. Lost again, still in possession by the Ivorians. That's a nice play, but it's gone for a goal kick in favor of Egypt. The Ivorian coach is a very, I would say, is a very lucky man. A very lucky man, and the Ivorian bench is solid. Very solid bench. When I say solid, I mean the players on the bench for Ivory Coast are first team players in their various different clubs that they represent in Europe. For them to be on the bench, it means those that are playing, not that they are much better than them, but they have proven to be consistent. I saw some of these players represent last Nations Cup, and some of them are still on the squad. Although you have some of the older generation of the players who are still on the bench and they've been utilized once in a while in the tournament so far. I saw a few of them in their initial opening matches, but I haven't been able to see as much as I can with some of the old players. Egypt is on the attack once more after oh, that's a nice tackle by nice tackle by the Ivorians. The Ivorians are building on again once more on the left. They've got a very good midfield that has total control of the ball and doing extremely well in the midfield. These are quite young boys. They don't have anything to fear. They don't have nothing to lose. And they've been very much enthusiastic about the way they play and the way they pass the ball. Football in Africa has actually improved. Actually drastically improved. You can't even believe the way football is going on right now. It's like you're watching superstars. Of course, they are superstars. Of course, they represent clubs in Europe, and of course, they are representing their home nations as they are playing for them in this African Nations Cup 2025 in Morocco. Like I said earlier on, this is the second stage, the second set of quarterfinals that is being played today, and we're now going to see what will be the outcome of this one. 28 minutes of the first half gone, and Ivory Coast is trailing by 1-0. So please send your comments and suggestions, please, if you can. And if you have any questions, before on the last match, I asked a couple of questions, but they didn't answer me. But yes, I did receive an answer from my brother, and my brother was saying, because the question I've been asked now, when Salon they go na Nations Cup, and in response to that now, Salon not get it for go Nations Cup. We need to think about football right now about Salon because you know we need to support to the fullest. Then they try, but the nation not the support. I yet to differ that at some level because knowing Sierra Leone for football, they are very determined to support, and I think say then they support, but maybe the expectation of the support way we want. Now, when a team is winning, you get the full support of your nation behind you. Now, a free kick is just about to be taken about 30 yards away from the Ivorian, from the Egyptian defense, and it was a straight header into the arms of the Pharaohs goalkeeper, who has been extremely well, who has done extremely well so far in this tournament. I remember in Cameroon, I think it was the first match they played, he picked up an injury and they were forced to use their substitute goalkeeper, who turns out to be the man of the tournament for the Pharaohs. He was a stop shotter, and he made couple of penalty saves. Even though Egypt was going through penalties at the end of every knockout series of the tournament until they get to the final again, it was another knockout series on penalties that took them out of the Nations Cup final. And they lost that tournament to Senegal. And now you have them back on again playing against the defending champion of the African Nations Cup 2024, 2023, 2024. That's a massive clearance right into the half of the Ivorian goal post, and they lost it for a corner in favor of the Pharaohs. All right, my friend just replied to me, and I think he's a worried man, and he said, "Hey guy, don't worry, don't worry. I know I am not worried. I am wearing my jersey right now. Ivory Coast will score 2 goals." Okay. Thank you very much, Daniel, for saying that, and I believe what you've just said. I'm going to take a snapshot and send it to you just for you to know it's 2-0. Oh my God. This is crazily mad. Oh my God. This is crazily mad. The Pharaohs has scored again for the second time in the 31st minute of the first half. Ivory Coast is losing by 2-0. Is that the 2 goals my friend was telling me about? I'm not sure. But it is rather unfortunate for him to say Ivory Coast is going to score 2 goals and the Pharaohs has just scored 2 goals. It was a clear, decisive header from a corner kick to the second post of the goalkeeper, and Ivory Coast have just conceived another goal and they are 2-0 down. What a remarkable result so far. What a spectacular header. And even the Pharaohs themselves don't believe this. They might be in shock as they are playing against the defending champion of the African Nations Cup 2023, and now they are leading them by 2-0. What an amazing result. What an amazing match. Ivory Coast has been under the offense almost throughout the past 10 minutes, only for them to conceive a second goal that is not putting them in the right footing at all. They did not perform well in their last tournament appearance, and they eventually end up to be the winner as a host nation. Is Morocco going to do the same? Unfortunately, no, because Morocco are performing extremely well, and for them to be where they are today is not by any chance, it's not by accident, it's by sheer determination, consistency, and ability to perform at the highest level. We see their performance in the World Cup, and we're yet to see their performance as if they are unstoppable. Ivory Coast on the attack again once more. A nice defensive defend by the Egyptians, and Ivory Coast has been in ball possession more than the Egyptian for the past 10 minutes, but they haven't been able to penetrate into the Egyptian goal for them to secure a goal until they've actually conceived 2 goals in the first 33 minutes of this half. Ivory Coast in ball position again once more. They have been seen to be dominating the first half of this match, but they're still struggling to break the Egyptian defense. The Pharaohs seems to be very difficult to challenge, and it's been amazing. I'll see if I can call my brother and see if he's watching, and I think he's watching anyway, and ask for his opinion about this match and see what he thinks and whether he believes Ivory Coast is gonna come out of this ditch and make it possible to make their way through to the semi-finals of the African Cup of Nations. It will be interesting to see who Senegal is going to play. That's just a clear miss again once more by the Pharaohs. Unlucky, unlucky. I know a crazy result in this match, and no one saw it coming. I know that, Desmond. I'm gonna call you, Desmond, very soon, so that I can have your own opinion, just for you to say some few words. I'm gonna make it a phone call discussion anyway. So I hope you're looking forward to that. But it is a very crazy result. Nobody is expecting this result at this point in time. When I was delayed for 5 minutes, only to realize that the Pharaohs have scored. That's just 5 minutes, and Ivory Coast is on the attack again once more. What are they going to do about this? Are they going to get one back? They're doing everything possible. They're dilly-dallying, dancing in front of the Pharaohs 18-yard box. That's a cross, and it goes all the way back for a goal kick. No, it's going to allow you to play, put into play, knock it back again to the Ivorians. Are they going to have a cross into the half of the Egyptians? 1-2, back to the defender, and back to the midfielders, back to the midfielders again, stretch it all the way to the right. Yes, this is interesting. And now it's a cross, and it goes over for a goal kick in favor of the Pharaohs. Interesting match. Na coca de drinko, more not be saying that na cocoa, na coke. Not anything na coke. More not say just no my but you look get energy on what you drink so. That energy not anything on a coke. I just had a cup of coffee earlier on. Now I'm just having a soft coke with plenty water and ice in it. So the coke is not actually fizzy. It's less fizzy because I've put a lot of ice in it. Actually, I not put ice in the place. Cold, man. I like you. I'm not going for drink ice coke right now. But anyway, like I said, Ivory Coast has 71.5 ball possession, whilst Egypt have 28, but the scoreline does not reflect the ball possession. So they can say, not so how long you hold the ball for matter, now how much goal you have scored. May his soul rest in peace. I remember back in the days when they said, to that one, they cut man in the gap. They cut that man in the wake. But guess what? How many tournaments did we qualify to represent Sierra Leone during their days? Few. But he was the man that will card anybody, Alexei Fida in the gap. And they wake that man, we don't card him. So that is exactly what has been the reflection of today's match. Ivory Coast has majority of the ball possession, but they're still trailing by 2-0. And this match is going to be a very interesting match. There are going to be more goals for sure. Definitely there are going to be more goals. If Ivory Coast manage to score one, and they even the score 2-2, it's going to be very interesting to watch and see what will be the outcome of this particular match. Ivory Coast is in total domination of the match, and the Pharaohs are doubling up. They are doubling up on the Ivorians, on and off the ball. They are doubling up on them. They're not giving them any chances at all whatsoever for them to be able to do anything. And the Ivorian captain is very much frustrated because he realizes this game is not going in their favor, and it's about time for the referee to make some harsh decisions. But the referee is not going to listen to that because he's doing everything possible in his own power to make sure he's got the game under control. Mamush, the goal scorer for the first goal, is actually talking to his colleague on the pitch, sitting down, waiting to be ushered up by the referee, and possibly now it's a foul being given to Ivory Coast just on the left-hand corner flank of the Egyptian defense. And we're going to see what is going to be the outcome of this particular one. The Ivorians are not really positive about the whole thing right now. They are just not too sure of what is happening. 39 minutes of the first half gone. This match is so fast running. Can you imagine? It's just started not long ago, and we're almost getting to the end of the first half. Just about 6 minutes more to play for, and we're seeing what is happening now. So, what is this? Is there going to be any spectacular? It's 2-1. No, it's not. It's 2-0. And 39 minutes gone. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Ivorians have pulled one back. They've just pulled one back. They've just pulled one back. Like I said, this game is very interesting. Yes, it's 2-1. 39 minutes gone. 3 goals already. What an amazing quarterfinals. An unwaiting result is awaiting us within the next 45 minutes of the second half to come. And that is possibly an own goal. But the only reason why you will score an own goal against yourself if you are under very serious pressure, which is what the Pharaohs are going through right now. So definitely we're going to see an interesting second half. So keep watching. Keep watching. This game is very much interesting. Yes, Des, I believe in you. Egypt is sitting deep and relying on taking advantage of set pieces as well. The ball possession we see is because the Egyptians are playing their traditional approach of counter attack. I don't think you can do counter attack with a team that has the definition of scoring goals, which means goals is goals. Right. I can see the Ivorians are desperate now. 5 minutes more to go. Mamouche, Mo Salah, and the rest of the great Egyptian players are on the pitch frustrated because they were thinking of going back into the second half with a 2-goal lead, but that has been reduced to a 1-goal lead. I can see Shangari, who has been one of the most dedicated and heart what it again all and all. Why I say it again all, let's say if you put in aid, it kick, it put all thing there for make sure say Ivory Coast win. I saw that physically myself during the final against Nigeria. It was not an easy match. Not an easy one at all. Like I said to you, these guys are putting me on my toes. I'm just bouncing back and forth because of the tension of the game. Kessie has been doing extremely well since he took over the captaincy of Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast has been extremely determined. It was not even future to be possible like a better player because I think he was doing quite well before in Europe, and then he moved on to another side of football that does not really that much recognize him as a prolific player. But again, he's doing extremely well because he still maintained the captain band of the Elephants and is cleared away by the Ivorians and Egyptian back in possession by Mo Salah. As a quick call on the right. No, it goes all the way. And the goalkeeper had a convenient catch and is now looking for a quick throw. Drops it down to the defense, building up again from scratch. Ivorians are very much composed now. They've reduced the deficits to 1, and they're looking forward to possibly equalize. 42 minutes gone of the first half. We only have officially 3 minutes to go to get to the end of this first half. And in no time, just about in no time, Ivory Coast might be able to pull another one. But I don't know how quick would that be as they are now into the 18-yard box of the Egyptian. Is that going to be a cross? Yes, he goes out for another corner, putting the Pharaohs under pressure. That's another corner. 2 minutes to go of the second half, of the first half, sorry. You see why they run with the game, man? The game gets speed. I'm not gonna be proud wearing this. Yes, I did wear the Sierra Leone jersey with the match between um Nigeria and Algeria, and now I've put on my Ivorian jersey. The only reason being because I bought this one when I was there during the Afcon 2023. So that is the reason why I'm wearing it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have. But guess what? If you get enough, I wear them anyway because I'm one of the things that I take back home as a souvenir after the Afcon there. So now Ivory Coast don't take another corner, headed away by the Egyptian and punched out by the goalkeeper right into the legs of the Egyptian midfielders, and they are now building 1v1, 1v1, 1v4, 1v4. No foul given. Yes. Thank you, referee. The game still is on play. Ivory Coast in possession. Sorry, Mamouche. Get up and go. It'll be very interesting to have 2 West African countries representing in the final of the African Cup of Nations 2025. Can you imagine that? One francophone and the other one is an anglophone. Bravo, West Africa. Keep the fire burning. Salon the way to. I don't know when Salon get for the represent West Africa in this capacity for going at this quarter final of the African Nations Cup. Sometimes, just about maybe it will happen next time. We don't even know. Maybe, just about maybe. That's when I'm gonna call you during the intervals. I'm gonna take 5 minutes of your time and just ask for your quick analysis because the Ivorian party they were get, they right now them confused. They don't want to talk to me. I don't care for call. They say they need to pick up. The other one where I call, we pick up now message where you not pick up actually, just sending me text. And the moment where he's sending me the text, say Ivory Coast to get 2 goals, now Egypt scored 2. So can you imagine how it will feel? But I not respond to it, so I left and force. Oh, I sound Ivorian. Okay. Actually, yes, I am Ivorian right now. I take it. At the moment, you see my Ivorian jersey. Now what's see now? Côte d'Ivoire. Oui, oui. Where? Don't worry. No, I need to speak French. Man, I like French. Right now, the game is playing on. Ivory Coast is in possession right now. They're knocking it around in the midfield area. They are passing it from one player to the next. Ball possession has been their forte in the past half an hour of the match, and they've been not able to equalize the scoreline, but they were able to pull one back, and they are 2-1 down against the Pharaohs of Egypt, who are not messing around. Their goal scoring ability is extremely high for this tournament, and they are not taking any prisoner for granted. Everything goes, nothing for granted. They are desperately looking for another goal if they can, and at the end of this first half, just about 2 minutes extra time being added, Ivory Coast is going to go out for the second half with 1 goal deficit down, and Mo Salah's eyes are widely open, waiting for something extra not to happen as they are now in possession. For the 6 minutes gone, few more seconds left for the first half to officially finish, and lost it to Ivorian midfield, and the Ivorians are coming back hard on the Pharaohs. Knock it again now. What is it going to be? No, defended well. Wow, this game is solid. I've never seen such defense against each other. There, if an Ivorian gets the ball, you will see 5 Egyptians surrounded him, and eventually the Ivorians will come back again. That's a nice chip, nice play down to the striker, and defended well by Ivory Coast. Officially, the first half is over, and the referee just signaled the end of the first half, and Egypt are leading by 2 goals to 0. This game is very fast. Can you imagine? Not long ago when the game started, it's finished. 45 minutes gone so quick. It's because of the pace of the game. In the first 5 minutes, Egypt took the lead, and later on, they took another lead, and within the 42nd minutes, Ivory Coast reduced the lead to 2-1, and now they're ending up with the first half by 2 goals to 1 in favor of the Pharaohs. So I'm going to call Desmond quickly. Desmond, I'm going to call you now and see whether we can have a quick chat. Okay, Daniel, no problem. I know definitely we're going to make it. Okay, Daniel, no problem. I know we're definitely going to make it. All right, so far so good. We've watched the first match, and if you're watching the second match, this is the likes of Samuel Eto'o. Is still around watching Ivory Coast play. Very strong arch rivals. Have they've gone home yesterday? Can you imagine? They've gone home yesterday. The Cameroonians have not performed well in the past 2 Afcon. They seems to be struggling with their backroom staff, with their coaching staff, which their structural organization has not been great at all. But maybe they'll come back strong. And maybe the downside of the whole thing that they are doing, I will not say it lies with Samineto, but maybe, just about maybe, it depends on how he sees things. It depends on how he relates to the coaching staff. It depends to how he's doing things. Maybe that's the reason why we are where we are right now with the Cameroonians. But it might be different. Hello, Mr. Desmond. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Stavanger Media Live on Facebook and YouTube. What's your take so far? I know for say you engage with me on Facebook right now. What's your take? It's 2-1 down in favor of the Pharaohs.
AT, thanks very much, man. It's exciting listening to you and also following the game
I
from
know.
my run commentary and watching it on TV as well. It's really exciting.
That's good.
But so far, it has been a very entertaining encounter between two big powers in Africa. But as it stands now, if you look at the approach, it has been an early tempo, like you earlier said, from the word go, the tempo of the match has really been high. And the opening half, we saw cautious and tactical approach, high stick and knockout game. But every side prioritize their defense and security over attacking risks. So if you look at it, the first 20 minutes was barely tempo. And as a result of that, if you look, Egypt is sitting right there with a compact mid block, allowing Ivory Coast to actually have total control of possession, but not limiting space between the lines. And then this is very key as well, the way the Egyptians are doing it by not allowing them to actually get space within the line. And on the other side of the Ivory Coast, they are attempting to be more direct play, early circulating of the ball through to the penalty area, but making that break is becoming a huge challenge for them as well. And neither team is able to press aggressively in the opening so far. So if you look at what is happening, it stands out that the key players like Maru actually took advantage of that break that led to the first goal for Ivory Coast. And the header as well that led to the second goal was a classic one. And you see the Ivorian picking up the tactics from their Ivory Coast also relying on the set pieces and counter attack because they are more pushing forward. So it resulted to a corner. But however, it's not all lost for Ivory Coast. But coming back, I know the Pharaohs are going to be they're going to be sitting deep. They're really going to be sitting deep and making sure they do what they are supposed to do to keep them alive to the semi-final.
Well, I agree with you at some point, but I don't agree with you because me and I are Ivorian right now. I definitely agree with you. No, but it's a very interesting match, and I think the tempo of the match is extremely high. That's why the time runs so fast because you were thinking, oh, but game just start before they might not score. Ah, what's in happen before they might not can too. So the pace of the match is extremely high at the moment. How do you think African players are playing at a high tempo at this level? Has it been the same for the past 10 years in the way African football don't grow? Because this is a very different match compared to what we normally used to see.
This is the benefit of investment in the youth structural approach and giving these players the bigger opportunity to play in bigger clubs where the tempo that we see is related to some of the leagues they are playing. Like Kwesi is coming from Saudi. You might look at what is happening in Saudi, cannot compare it to Europe, but most of the guys playing now in Saudi, they are from Europe.
Yeah.
So the tempo there is also really going high. And then you look at the guys playing in England. You look at the guys playing in France, everything there relates around tempo. So Africa is actually benefiting from, especially those who are investing the right way. When you talk of right way, look at the under 16,
Right.
17, 20, and 23. And if you look, these are now the boys coming into the bigger teams. And when you patch them together with this, the light of Amadou Diallo playing for Manchester United, Casey's experience, and you look at Mo Salah and Marouche, it gives you the kind of tempo we are getting now. But actually, it's exciting to see that the African football is now really coping with the tempo because before tempo was a big problem. And
Yeah.
if you look what is happening now, they are more tactical and more technical approach to what they play. If you look, they've been having key battles in wider areas. You know, Ivory Coast has actually been trying to overload the flanks, but the Egyptians are very much disciplined in that area, tracking and neutralizing most of the threat that is coming. And in the middle, in the midfield as well, it's really crazy to see what is happening there. Egypt on the other side are winning all the second balls, while Ivory Coast keep dominating and the possession. But to be candid with you, these countries, they know what they just imagine. Ivory Coast won the competition. You were there. You saw the celebration. You saw the investment. You saw everything they've put in place for that tournament. And coming from that tournament, now going to Morocco, the same infrastructure. So these players are not going there because they just want to play for their glory, but they are there because they know the facilities they get in their clubs is also what they get here. So they're really going to play exciting and football that is very, very, very fast. So it's a good for African football, my brother. It's
Right.
really, really good. And to really see the younger boys coming in now, 19, 18, 20, playing in this competition, it also leads to the approach of FIFA. Since Arsene Wenger went there, we've been seeing across the globe, we had more countries relying now on the younger players, giving opportunity to 17, 18, 19, and Africa is also following suit. So it's a good approach for us in this tournament so far.
All right, thank you very much, Desmond. Now I know that Morocco has gone through yesterday by defeating Cameroon. What do you think is going to be the outcome between Morocco and Nigeria, who actually made their own way through against Algeria this afternoon?
Well, we're going to see the two lousiest neighbors across African football, especially when it talks of fans, in terms of fans traveling across the globe. These are the two loudest we're going to see. I was in Saint Etienne for I think it was the Olympic tournament there.
Right.
The crowd of Morocco there was crazy. And when you look at Nigeria, their traveling contingent as well, it's crazy. And it's also close to the Mediterranean. So it gives Nigeria an ample time to travel across the borders and just come in their thousands or in their millions to come and support. So we wait and see what the 11 man will do on the pitch on that day. But so far, Nigeria has been very successful game after game, taking advantage. And if you look the short edging courts that Nigeria has, these are very dangerous players.
Yeah.
Osimhen up front there, Lookman, and in midfield, Wubi has been like the JJ Okocha or the Sunday Oluse in those days. He's very stable, very confident. I think the coach has also brought something new that we've not seen in Nigeria
True.
before. The unity, and he's talking about what's happened on the pitch stays there. He's not looking at more on the attitude of players, but what's necessary is what we do on the practice field and what we do during 90 minutes. So it's going to be an exciting battle, but Morocco, you cannot write them away of football at this particular moment. Because if you look at the infrastructure and development they are putting there, it tells you they don't just want to put this infrastructure and they don't get the results. So they want to be there at every final. So it's going to be a tight one. Yesterday, they struggled a bit to get a win against struggling Cameroon, who are rebuilding. But however, they came on top in that particular match. The second goal was a classic one, and the first goal was it was a bit difficult to get that goal.
Right.
And the opener in every match is always challenging to get it. But once you get that one, you settle well, and then you set up to your plan. Definitely, you make the result. And it has been exciting to see both nations play, Nigeria and Morocco. But when they meet each other, the question is, what are we going to expect from them? But it's football. Anything is possible, like the one we're waiting for.
I know.
Takes home the 3 points.
I know, definitely 110%. I know say this tournament don't go on for a long while now, possibly almost 2.5 weeks, coming to 3 weeks since the tournament started. What's in that your most exciting moment, and which team we don't come out we stand out for you the most? You don't highlight say there has been a lot of young players been involved in this tournament, especially from the Central African Republic countries where they produce a lot of young players. Then, what has been your highlights for the clubs or the countries that have been kicked out of the tournament so far? Which way you go pinpoint say yes did very well, but they were quite unlucky to be kicked out at this particular point in time?
I like Burkina Faso,
Okay.
and I also like Mali to see what they do. These are teams that will gradually get into the tournament.
Right.
So you see a sign of resemblance they are developing. Burkina Faso is building stadiums now, and they are more stable in their approach. They say bringing new players there. Of course, Cameroon, yes, I like what I see from them. Working a whole home-based backroom staff from Cameroon, nutritionists, everybody. They don't have any European influence around there. They are all back-based players from Cameroon or coaches from Cameroon. So that approach has also sent a wave to Africa that, look, we are now ready. We are no longer just waiting, but we are ready. We have what it takes to win this tournament. I think going forward after this tournament, waiting we get for see now we get for get a batch of picking the way born in Europe. Now being proud of going back for represent Africa.
Yep.
Of course, we see what is an identity done in Peking, Algeria.
Yep.
In a within the stick for Algeria, and that lead for letting Daddy go to the tournament. So it means a lot as well. You see, Mbappe was in the tournament as well to watch Cameroon and so many other nations. Them bigger stars that we come on Africa, we know play for their countries. Them, but they all turn up for go watch this tournament. So it tells you something good has been coming from them teams and also the infrastructural development and the younger players they're within at top clubs them across the globe. But to be candid with you, I like what you see from Mali, and I also like Cameroon. You know, we don't see that physicality where we think of Cameroon in the
Yep.
early
True.
hours of
True.
the dominant in African football.
True.
We see a more technical approach team where players and they will take 1-on-1, 2-on-2, not just the kick like a out them with the kick and then they use their power and beat you. But this time around, they're very, very technical and tactical in their approach as well. But the tournament as well has been very, very exciting for the whole of Africa.
Right.
The accommodation, the acceptance of we accepting ourselves. Congo brought in something new in terms of support.
Yeah.
By bringing Lumumba,
Lumumba.
somebody who just thought and say, you know what, I'm going to kill. You know, it's amazing to see
it is
raising a history like that, and now he has become a global icon.
Exactly.
President call him for take a picture with him. You don't get to stay, you watch
Exactly.
the final, and you go attend all the matches. And so this tournament has been a one where really the acceptance for Africans and done great, and it's good that we are thinking of coming together when tournament like this. My bigger question is CAF really ready for let this tournament compete or stand against the European giant? And we want to see the tournament play for give them leagues them advantage. I can understand. I need the players that they make them money then for come invest back home. Yeah, some of them they get peanut from representing their countries and adjust the name no more say you can't represent your country.
Right.
Look like what in Nigeria they do a country of 2 million. Players are still struggling like in the 1994 tournament where they get for drive themselves with balls, fend food for themselves. In the 21st century, they are still thinking of it. So we have a lot to do, but this tournament so far has been a very exciting.
So before you go, Usai Salondi.
No, Salon, we're building. You know, we're building castle. We talk more than we talk more than how we prepare.
Okay.
And we've not been ready yet. You see glimpse of say people then want to do things, but yet still, if we keep celebrating people instead of looking at the development when I know the real approach, then it's a mess. You know, it's a mess. What is happening in Sierra Leone, whether in sport or in government, we are celebrating people, the statue of people, than the sustainable development of the left there. And this is what is killing our sport. It's not about the people playing the sport anymore, the athletes. It's about the people who claim to be the administrators. Those are the people we're celebrating. And when you look at the West, it's the players they are celebrating because these players are the ones selling the merchandise. These players are the ones selling the vest, making the water bottles, the pen and everything sell faster. But if you leave them and then you're celebrating the administrators, then I don't know where we're going. And we're not able to attract proper investment in the country. I tell you, we're not able.
All right.
Because look like Samuel Eto'o in Cameroon. Yesterday, what happened? The referee, few of the referees were changed. He did not say anything. Just because of his presence, what happened? The media and stunt and everything brought a huge fight that Samuel Eto'o has said X, Y, and Z. The referees were changed. So this is what it means. When you get somebody who's a global icon in the game and is educated and ready to push, you get all those things. But for us, Salon, we keep talking and keep beating the drum.
All right, thank you very much, Desmond. When you talk to somebody who is knowledgeable about sport and football, you get insight information, in-depth one as well. So thank you very much. Second half is about to start, and we'll continue with the chats. And I hope to talk to you soon. No, definitely we will win this match. You will come out and not win this match. Watch them what it is sitting there for next.
Okay, brother. Let's enjoy the show behind the scenes. Thanks for
Thank you very much. That was Desmond Spade. I mean, Desmond is very dedicated to sports and he's also dedicated to his mission for grassroots football and grassroots sports in Sierra Leone. So keep the fire burning and we definitely support you in anything we do. Just call and just click and tick that box no more. We will be there. Unfortunately, we'll not be able to work on any projects for last year. But this year coming, fingers crossed, we'll be looking at few different things that are going to be working on it. Thank you very much, Desmond, once more. And thank you guys for watching. If you're watching out there, you're watching Sarah J Media live commentary by myself on the match between Côte d'Ivoire, my Côte d'Ivoire, against the Pharaohs of Egypt. At the moment, Côte d'Ivoire is trailing by one goal to two, or by 2 goals to 1, because they are leading. No, they are not leading, because they are coming from behind and they have secured a goal and they are 2-1 down. Rather unfortunate, I think we have the Ivorian player who has just picked up an injury. The right back has picked up an injury, and I think it's just on her chest or shoulder. I think he needs immediate attention for this one because he looks a little bit concerned. Right, I think the way we are going right now, the match is being a little bit relaxed at the moment, and we can now see, or he may have shifted his shoulder. I don't think he'll be able to come back again. He may have shifted his shoulder. Is he coming back on? I think he will be coming back on, but I think he's stretching his arms and making sure that he's all good. All right, so far so good. The Pharaohs are leading by 2 goals to 1. Second half have started. Almost 2 minutes gone of the second half. And now we are watching the Elephants of Ivory Coast building on the attack from the goalkeeper into the half of the Pharaohs. They're knocking it around to the left or the right, and they have to be mindful of losing the ball and giving possessions to the Pharaohs of Egypt. The tempo has dropped a little bit compared to the way the tempo started in the first half. And is there any reason for that? Maybe the Pharaohs have been told or cautioned to calm it down. You're not in a rush. You are leading. Take your time. Nobody is running after you guys. I mean, they asked one question earlier on. I don't know whether you guys can answer the question. One of the questions is this. I want for know Uda now the best Sierra Leonean player right now will play for Salon, in your opinion? And then secondly, who is the most cap Sierra Leonean player will currently they play for Sierra Leone? Those are my 2 questions. So I need answers. If you have answers, please put it on the chats and then I'll read the answers out and see whether, because I don't know, but I have my own best player that I think is the best player for Leon Star as of now. I don't say for tomorrow, I don't say for next year, but for now, currently as we speak, I have my own player in mind. So I want to know who don't have your own player in mind, who if you say now the best Leon Star player where they play for Salon currently. And also Odan are the most capped Leon Star player where they play for Salon as we currently speak. So those are the 2 questions. I'm waiting for answers as we are now going into the into the first 5 minutes. The first 4-5 minutes of the second half is just about to tick, and Ivory Coast is still trailing by 2 goals to 1. You have the likes of Sangari, who is one of the most dedicated attacking midfielders for the Elephants. And you have Kessie, who is also a prolific player, although he hasn't got an outstanding standing on rating, but I think he's doing extremely well for the team. Ivory Coast is on the attack again. They've lost it to the Pharaohs, just about close to the midfield, and they're chasing it down now as the Pharaohs are getting in possession on the left flank with the striker twisting, turning, and lost it to the Ivorians. This is a very interesting match, and as we know, the match is going to be decisive within the next 40 minutes, and we will know who is going to be knocking heads with Senegal at the semi-final of the African Cup of Nations in Morocco. So far, so good. The Pharaohs of Egypt are leading. The tempo of the game don't drop small. And we know they see the pace where the game begets earlier on as the Egyptians are defending extremely well right now. They are not in any hurry. Nobody need to chase them. They need to chase forcing. So now Ivory Coast therefore raise the tempo back of the game for put the Pharaohs under pressure. But if they don't do that, the game is going to be easily slipped out of their hands because they are not putting the Pharaohs under pressure at all. So I believe still they need to pump up the volume so that the Pharaohs will be confused and get them to be confused, just like the way they did for Lake then get the first goal for reduce the score line to 2-1. So whilst Desmond we talk earlier on, we talk about grassroots football and how grassroots football will make a huge difference in those countries. Oh my God! Oh my God! It's all done. The Pharaohs have taken the lead again just 6 minutes. 6 minutes after the second half resumed, and they are leading by 3 goals to 1. Mo Salah. This is definitely not a good sign for the Ivorians. And he's done it again. This is the time that the Ivorians should be taking very strongly of what they want to do. Mo Salah has made it 3-1 for the Pharaohs. Again, like I said, the Ivorians reduce the tempo of the match. And you are defending Mo Salah on the wrong side of the pitch, not with a player of such caliber. A very determined coach that has been consistent over the past couple of years with the team and has gone through a lot of transformation, building the team alongside Mo Salah and some other great players. And now you can see the benefits of some of the hard work of the great Egyptian coach. Like I said earlier on, Egypt has one of the best record of the African Nations Cup, and they haven't won it that much for the past five. I would say for the past 3 or 4 Afcon, they've not won it at all. But their records still stand. Their records still stand as Ivory Coast is now losing guard to this particular match. They've just conceded another goal again. That is making it 3-1 in favor of the Egyptian Pharaohs. This is bad for football, and this is bad for West African football, and this is bad for one of the Francophone countries that are alongside the western coast of Africa. Again, we only have one Arab nation that has booked their place, and they are the host nation, Morocco. And we only have one more Arab nation that is about to book their place for the semi-finals. And is it going to be an all-Arab final? I saw online a couple of days ago the final of the Afcon, Egypt and Morocco. And I was thinking to myself, nah, it's not possible. We're not going to have 2 Arab countries to represent in the Afcon final. It is not going to happen at all. But guess what? I'm not saying it is going to happen, but we are likely getting closer to that decision if this one stands as it is, as Ivory Coast is trailing by 3-1 against the Egyptian Pharaohs. That's a cross, and it's been blocked by the Egyptian defender, and is a throw to the Ivorians. This game has slipped down the hands of the Ivorians, and I don't know whether they're going to be able to recover from this. But it's still 10 minutes gone of the second half, 55 minutes of the entire match being played, and Ivory Coast is trailing by 3 goals to 1, and they are the defending champions of this particular tournament. They won it the last time, even though they were not tipped for it. Their performance initially in the opening of the tournament was not good. I don't know whether because they were the host nation, they managed to develop the tempo as the Pharaohs are now attacking again, but being saved by the bell. Ivory are in ball possession right now, but like I said earlier, when they dropped the tempo of the match down, that may have killed it all for them to be trailing by 3 goals to 1. I bet the coach must be a very confused individual right now. Let's see what he's going to do to make changes that is going to get them back on this match. And it has to be done quick. Otherwise, it's just 4 more minutes for 60 minutes of the match to be played. And you don't want to leave it too late. Otherwise, it will be disaster for you. So we hope and pray that the coach make a swift decision in terms of making changes and getting the boys to be ready. Ivory Coast seems to be struggling a little bit since they came back for the second half. It hasn't been great for them with ball possession, and it hasn't been great for them to penetrate into the half of the Pharaohs. They are now doing it for the first time, I think, and they're knocking it around in the half of the Egyptians. They're doing a lot of 1-2s. Ball possession has been great, and they're spreading the ball from one pitch to the next, and that's a cross and headed out by the Egyptians. Ivory Coast in possession again once more. And a swift stun on the left flank. Is it going to be a cross? Oh, they've just lost it. And the ball goes out for a goal kick. Well, like I said earlier on, this match is going to be a very interesting one. And immediately after we resume for the second half, again within the first 5 minutes, Egypt has scored another goal to make it 3-1. I don't know what Kessie is going to do next. I don't know how much he's going to influence his guys to step up the volume for them to be able to catch up and possibly reduce the scoreline. But this is going to be a massive challenge for the Ivorians, a massive challenge for them. I really don't see them coming away from this except football. Now, Biscuito, no so say you expect for broke, now they broke. So now the face with right now. Mo Salah has done it again. Again, Mo Salah did it a few days ago, and he has done it again. He has proven himself for all his doubters, all the Liverpool crap supporters. They will not like Mo Salah. Una go die, yeah, and he perform so right now. Oh, that makes man foolish. Oh, now Egypt is on the attack again once more. That's a massive, massive save by the Ivorian goalkeeper. And that was a nice 1-1 and a very positive shot and saved by the Ivorian goalkeeper. I will not say he's lucky because the ball rebounded again and came off his hands into the legs of the Egyptian striker, but he goes in for a corner kick. Now, Egypt have another corner. Are they going to make anything out of this? No, they don't. Not yet. No, definitely not. That's a brilliant block by the Ivorian defense. Clear the ball all the way down into the Egyptian half, straight to the goalkeeper, who is possibly taking his time to pick the ball up from the pitch. So far, so good. Egyptians are leading by 3 goals to 1, and we don't know exactly what will be the outcome of this match. I am not expecting any more goals. Maybe, maybe not. But the way how things are right now, the elephants of Ivory Coast, they don't mask them back. And the grass within the mascot now is just the sink. The grass not they grow again, oh. Because for me that grass they grow, they get for common at them back. The ball has gone out for a throw in favor of Egypt. Africa man ain't good for his time, eh? If they lead you and then they can realize say them down they go. Then go for don't say you gains. African football is just the same. No, it's not the same. African football has evolved greatly. But they will have Nicole thing no more can do. It's still necessary. We play ready for delay. If for don't pass 10 per game. This na cocoa, not to anything na coke. But obviously my magic na the drink brandy. Not to brandy on a coke. So when I not get it twisted, okay? So the referee is waiting for the Egyptian player to get off, or he's going to be stretched out of the pitch. So they are now just waiting for that to happen whilst they're showing the pictures of the Ivorian and Egyptian coach as they possibly try to get the match going. This Ivorian number 19, if you buy Saka, I don't know if Saka in border, but he choose for play for Ivory Coast instead of Nigeria. As we all know, Zidane Pikenaya, the Nigerian goalkeeper, and that to me is one of the greatest things a player of Zidane's caliber can do for his kids. Proud of who they are, proud of the country he came from, and he allows his kids to represent. Maybe the 10 away even young, it not been fit to say it was the right decision for him to play for Tunisia, because it might be a different ball game. But so far so good. I still wait for me answer. No one not sending me answer it. And me answer na the question what I ask. Say, who that's now you best Sierra Leonean player at the moment, and who that na the Sierra Leone player we get the highest amount of national cap where they play for the country right now. So those are my 2 questions, and I would love to have answers before this game end. That's not a save. The ball just goes right to the top corner of the goalpost, and I think it's a free kick. No, it's a corner kick to Ivory Coast. Corner kick has been taken quickly. Oh no. Blocked by the... Oh no. It's blocked by the Egyptians and blasted over the crossbar by Kessie. Kessie is the captain of the Ivorians, whilst Mo Salah represents the Pharaohs of Egypt. As we all know, these are the quarterfinals. Nigeria don't qualify for the semifinals. They defeated Algeria, and now we get the Egyptian Pharaohs, where they lead by 3 goals to 1 against Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire is the team that I support today because I'm wearing their jersey. I'll say they are Komoto and I'll like them more, but I just support them no more today. Because they don't tell me to this jersey and say go title. And I say no go tight. I go most free. By the time I feel free, something 10 minutes to the game? Because 60 something minutes gone so far. and we're yet to see any change on the scoreline. It's still 3-1. So we hope and pray say the scoreline will remain the same or reduced by the Egypt by the Ivorian. All right, guys, if you're watching Sarah Jane Media Live, and that was the goal that Mo Salah just scored. I mean, you need to defend somebody. You suppose for dinner in front, and then you day behind him in your own 18-yard box. No, because the slightest chance we get, I mean, they can't phone you if you believe in you. But from where Mo Salah they wait for you receive the ball, they phone the player. So they close and down and inside they see the ball. So if you can forget the ball safe, it will get for turn. And say they allow him for turn, it will take him like a couple of seconds to a minute for like turn and face ball possession to the opposition. But if already don't get automatic position, as they pass the ball again, so now go to go. And that is exactly what happened for the third goal. Are we looking forward for another goal for Ivory Coast? Okay. The game's still in possession. Ivory Coast are in possession. They're knocking the ball around. And so far, so good. The Pharaohs are defending very well. Right, if you're watching Sarah Jane Media Live on YouTube and Facebook. And now the Pharaohs are attacking from the left flank and defended well. And they're in possession again once more. They knock it right across the pitch to the number right back. And that was a cheeky cross by Mo Salah and blocked by the Ivorian defender. So I know everyone for try for call me party na every because right now I have to go wham. It go vex so. Because we don't really intend for bluff me with this particular match they say in the winner. And that's a nice save by the Ivorian goalkeeper. He plays this shot for the defender to begin the game. And that's a foul against the Egyptian. Yellow card being given. Still 3-1. And Ivory Coast is trailing on this one. That's a bad, dangerous tackle by the Egyptian. Dangerous tackle from the back. And the referee did not issue any card for that. Very lucky Husham. Because that could have been a yellow card. So far, so good. I'm still waiting for my answer. Well, the way the game to go right now, 69 minutes gone. 21 minutes to go. And Ivory Coast is actually attempting for another goal, but they've just lost it this time around. Ivory Coast is making a change. They're bringing in a young, prolific striker by the name of Crasso. Kessie is coming off the pitch. And he has just handed over the captain band to Fofana, who is the most determined midfielder on the pitch right now, I believe. Kessie has finished his own half, and he has passed on the captain band to Fofana. So far, so good. This game that don't begin it don't begin tougher, and we get very close to them right now. And Egypt don't dominate. They've been defending well. They are not in any hurry to attack. They not left the attack the Ivory Coast, and Ivory Coast hasn't been able to break the defense of the Egyptians. Ivory Coast don't make a change, and that change they could be of benefits. We yet to know because we not see it what don't happen since they make the change. Although the change just come in, and that's a cross into the 18-yard box and cleared out by the Egyptians. The Egyptians are not taking any chances at the moment. They make sure say any ball we can they have, then they clear them. And then call Malakutu over the bar. It doesn't matter. If you can't detain them, put on the 10 them. It all slow down the game. Then because then Egypt they do so right now. Alright, I can make a quick request from my producer to get me a cup of coffee if he can. As we see the game they unfold, Ivory Coast they knock him down. Oh, that's a good try. And he goes out for a corner in favor of Ivory Coast. All right, if you're watching, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon or this evening or wherever you are. It is nighttime now in Morocco. And it's been a pleasure to be with you since this afternoon to now. So far, so good. That's a corner kick awarded to Ivory Coast, and they are now waiting and shoving each other for this free kick. And it goes all the way into the 18-yard box, and then he pulls out on the head. It is a goal. It is a goal. It is a goal. And Ivory Coast just don't pull one back. They've just pulled one back. That's a nice goal. Not even expecting it to come. Wow. Wow. This is a goal out of nothing. Wow. Wow. It's a header down by just the same way how Egypt scored their first goal is the same way how Ivory Coast does score their second goal. A very interesting goal being scored, and the deficit has been reduced again to 1. So Ivory Coast are losing by 3-2. Almost 73 minutes of the first half being played. What? Oh yes, it's a goal. They're just putting the ball in the center. I don't think the referee is waiting for VAR. No, it is a goal. 3-2. Bring it on. Bring it on. Interesting. I mean, say definitely this game is going to have a couple of goals in order for end of the day. Because 5 goals now, and there is going to be a decider within the next 20 minutes, within the next 18 minutes of the match to determine who is going to go for glory against Senegal, who is anxiously waiting as Nigeria and Morocco don't already book them place. Yes, it is 3-2 in favor of Egypt. Unlucky Fofana. now the game they can sweet. now the game they can sweet. As we all know, Ivory Coast are very much capable of coming from behind, and they are very much capable of being a lucky side. Now the Egyptian goalkeeper is on the pitch complaining about his ears. Definitely, that is African football for you. When you are down and you're losing the battle, that's the time the players are going to mess around, stay on the pitch for Donovan Gap. That's a very brilliant goal. Come all the way from the other side of the defender. And Fofana just track the ball, 9 ties, the ball bounce on top of him, and he go away Somebody punch him out. And the wing back, we been get an injury earlier on, just taps it from the back and he goes in for a goal and is now 3-2 to the Pharaohs. The goalkeeper is down and he's been attended to whilst we wait. Low talk small but salon football. Salon football don't get to the stage now where like how normal how Desmond say. Not so just what Desmond say, but this is fact. We celebrate the administrators them more than how we for they celebrate the players them. The players are the ones bringing in the money. The players are the ones bringing in the merchandising of selling of memorabilia. The players are the ones responsible for making the game play. But yet still, we celebrate the administrators there more than the way how they celebrate the players there. I go ask one question. Oda Sabi, Oda na the um or football president of the Guinea national team. Nobody knows. But if you ask right now, well, sometimes maybe in Guinea, yes, they know. But Salon, we dey talk about the president of football association, the chairman them. They are all celebrities. They are all household celebrities claiming celebrity status just because you know chairman of a football club does not make you a celebrity. Just because you know the SLFA president does not make you a superstar. Because you're not playing football, you don't kick the ball at all. You're just there to administrate the functions of football to be played in Sierra Leone. That does not make you a superstar. But oh yeah, we have the huge amount of, I'll not say sycophants, a huge amount of Sierra Leoneans who doesn't know the essence of being managers or somebody really guide the process for make football play where they appoint, but it is still take them like for say this na your own personal property. Now they will get a problem. Now they will get a serious problem. But like I say, I would like a cup of coffee by my producer who is dilly-dallying in the living room as Egypt is going to make another change. They're taking off number 8 and they're bringing a new player who is going to be maybe another winger. Yes, winger to stretch the Ivorians and drag them apart. So far, so good. 78 minutes gone. If he remains the same, Ivory Coast will go home and they will be packing their bags tonight or tomorrow. And that's right across the goalpost and punched away by the goalkeeper. Ivory Coast in possession still. And that's a cross again, headed out for the second time. What can you do of this one? Ivory Coast is still in possession. That's a nice quick turn and turn. And now you are now faced with the player. That's a quick cross again. Misheaded by the Ivorians, but they are still in possession. A cross again. Oh no! That's a brilliant save by the Egyptian goalkeeper. Ivory Coast don't try. They're doing everything possible right now. They're doing the best they can to at least equalize and drag this game to extra time. If that is possible, I think it will be amazing for them. If that is not possible, they should be packing back their bags to go home, which would be a shame, but it will be okay because they managed to come all the way to the quarterfinals. Under normal circumstances, defending champions of certain tournaments sometimes don't go that far, sometimes they do. Ivory Coast has making a change. They've just taken out a striker and they brought in another youngster who did extremely well within the last Nations Cup that took place in Ivory Coast. So far, so good. The Pharaohs are doing well by defending. And the Ivorians are doing well by attacking. Right. One. Okay, that's a corner kick being awarded to Ivory Coast. Just 80 minutes, 10 more minutes to go. We are very close to the official timing of the second half, which is about 10 minutes more to play for. And Ivory Coast is trailing by 3 goals to 2. And we've got 5 goals so far on this lively and enthusiastic final. No, enthusiastic quarterfinals by Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire, and Egypt, the Pharaohs. Now a corner is being taken and punched away by the goalkeeper for another corner in favor of Cote d'Ivoire. That one came off the head of an Egyptian defender. And another corner is going to be taken again quickly. And this time around is going to be an in-swing. Yes, let's see what's going to happen out of this. The referee is stopping the shoving and pushing of players. And then one player is down already. Oh no. I think the Egyptians have making up for everything that they're doing right now. They're killing the game. They're falling on the pitch when it's less necessary. All right, thank you very much once more. 8 minutes of the official time remaining. And the corner is going to be taken again for the second time. Bio is holding on to each other. And it goes over the head of what? Of an Ivorian? Yes, it is. It's a goal kick to Egypt. This match has been tough so far. And we don't see what Egypt don't do for defend the goal. But it's only about 7 more minutes left. We're not 110% sure say Egypt will be able to maintain that scoreline there. But you never know. You never know what might happen. Changes happen very swiftly in football. Just like how Egypt scored the first 2 goals. But the tempo has never been the same again since they came back for the second half. The tempo don't drop small. And the tempo don't drop small. So Egypt is holding the tough. They've got a free kick in the halfway line. And they're taking their time to take that free kick as Musala is dragging all the way to the left flank. So the ball should be passed on to him. And then he can help to delay it as much as he can. And that's across all the way to the Elephants. And the last hit again. And that's a massive clearance into the half of the Ivorians, where there is not even a single Egyptian player on sides. They're all back all the way in their halves. They're holding to what they already have. They're not going to take any chances to attempt to attack as much as they want to. But they will maintain the scoreline as it is. As Egypt is now defending, whilst Ivory Coast is on the attack. So my cup of coffee is here. Cheers, guys. Come and have a snake. This is just to keep me warm. It's been a very cold day as Ivory Coast is now in possession and lost it to Egypt. This is 2v2. Egypt has lost it to the Ivory Coast defense. Now they've got it in the midfield. Egypt is in possession right now. They're doing their best. They're twisting, turning around. That all helps give time. That's correct. Egypt in possession. They're knocking it around again once more with high confidence. All right, so far so good. Egypt is trailing. This is interesting. 86 minutes gone. 4 minutes official time remaining to go. And Ivory Coast is still trailing by 3 goals to 2. And they just took a throw in the half of the Egyptians. Ivory Coast is in ball possession just like they did in the first half. But then you always, to almost tell you all the ball matter. Sometimes it makes a difference. But majority of the time, not to how much time you get to the ball. Now how much impact you create when you get the ball. Very important. Egypt is defending well whilst oh, that's a good save. A straight header by the substitute that just came on, and it goes straight into the hands of the Egyptian goalkeeper. And that's a good save. They basically tell us they focus and they pay great attention to the match as we only have 3 more minutes to go for the entire match to be finished. The keeper hasn't been tested that much in the second half. He was under pressure for the entire first half, but hasn't been tested that well since the second half started. He has made a couple of punch saves and he's not been bombarded with any form of pressure that will keep him on his toes all the time. Yes, Ivory Coast is still in ball possession in the half of the Egyptians. And that's a quick pass blocked by the Nigerian. Sorry, the Ivorian midfield, and they're knocking it around. Egypt is holding on to the ball. They're losing it back again. They're doing everything to just clear their half so that they will not be under pressure. Ivory Coast is making two definite change. Fofana is coming on. And Fofana seems to be desperate because possibly this is the last match he's going to play for them to be going home. The way it looks right now, they're most likely maybe going home. And the player that just comes on looks so much like Hassan. Fofana is another striker who is very determined. Not as skillful as you may think he is, but he's a very determined player that takes no prisoner for granted. So Ivory Coast is doing everything now possible to be able to get a goal at least, as we are now heading to the last minute of the official 90 minutes played so far. So what we're going to see is an element of extra time being added to this match, and the Egyptians are on the pitch falling over the ball. Oh, that's a foul. That's a foul by Sangari. And 1 minute official time left to play for. And it is going to be a saddening moment for Ivory Coast to be making their way home as the defending champion of the tournament It is sad to see them go. It's going to be interesting to see Egypt play against against Senegal, which was the repeat of the final in Cameroon, and Egypt lost to Senegal on penalties. That will be an interesting match. A very interesting one to watch. Mm. Official 90 minutes gone, 5 minutes at a time. And we are now going to see what Ivory Coast is going to make of this last 5 minutes. Whether they're going to pump up the volume and take all the chances that they have and secure a goal to get it a draw for them to be able to book their space on the semifinals. So like I said, they're pumping everything into the half of the Egyptians. And the Egyptians are defending in numbers. But they also have to be very mindful for them not to lose their guard, because the Egyptians can be very quick to build on a counter attack. Just like a Desmond say, as another change being made, Mohamed is coming on, and the goal scorer for the first goal is going to be substituted. Right. Almost 2 minutes of the extra 5 minutes gone. 3 more minutes to play for. Now they have a free kick just closer to the 18-yard box of the Egyptians. No, that's not close. That's about 20 meters away. It goes all the way. The goalkeeper came out and punched it heavily. And he goes back to his goalpost and relax and wait for the ball to bounce back for a corner kick in favor of the Pharaohs. So far, so good. We only have about 3 more official extra time left. And we yet to see what the Pharaohs are going to defend against, as we see all the Ivorians are holding on to their jaws. The coach have tried. I think he did well to come back as a defending champion and get knocked out at the quarterfinals. I think that is amazing. Now 1.5 minutes official time of the extra 5 minutes remaining. So Egypt are not taking any chances at all. As soon as they lost the ball, they are back defending. No foul. Referee says plays on. Ivory Coast is doing their best as they can right now for them to be able to secure a draw that will take them to an extra time. This game is very interesting. Very interesting match. Like I said, there are going to be goals in this match. And what is happening now? What is happening now? A minute left of the extra 5 minutes time being awarded. And that's a foul against Ivory Coast. It looks like Egypt have secured their bookings. They have taken the spots to be playing at the semi-finals of the African Cup of Nations against Senegal. That's the last attack. Last one coming. Last one coming. Lost it again. They've lost it. That's a long pass. It's deliberate because the Egyptian coach is signaling the time is over. 5 minutes gone. And yes, it's finished. It is over. The 5 minutes extra time added towards this match has ended, and Ivory Coast, the defending champions, has been knocked out of the tournament, and they will be making their way home as the Egyptian pharaohs are celebrating, jubilating, dancing, and jumping for another repeat of an exciting semi-finals to be played in the next couple of days against Senegal. That's going to be another interesting match to watch, as we have two great nations, both of which are West African nations. At least we're going to have one West African country in the final. That's better. At least one. But again, we might not have none. But again, we might have two. So let's hope and pray that any one of those three options becomes viable. Not the one that says we cannot have none. No, we don't want to see an alternate out Arab final. No. But at least, but I would say yes, we want to see an out and out West African final. Yes, we want that to happen. Yes, of course. Because again, Senegal is going to do us proud, even though they are francophone, but they are still our neighbors. And this is shocking for the Ivorian players. They are in tears, they are crying, they are not happy, they're very upset. They were expecting to go far into this tournament. They were the host nations 2023, and now they've lost it to the Pharaohs of Egypt by 3 goals to 2. They've done their best, they did everything possible in their own power for them to get to the quarterfinals. I think that is the best they can do, and they'll just have to leave it there. It's so sad that we haven't seen some of their great players for last Nations Cup. Um, we have their super talisman striker who actually was not well before the tournament and managed to feature and scored some significant important goals during their campaign towards the final. But it is not their time this time, and I'm proudly wearing this jersey, and I'm still proud to wear it, not only because I'm supporting them for today's match, it's because these are some of the things I bought coming back home from Ivory Coast during the Afcon. So it's a shame that they couldn't make it to the final, to the semi-final, but eventually it's good that Egypt has made it to the semi-final again for maybe the second, third, fourth, or fifth time in the past 5 or 10 years. And it's good to see them playing again against Senegal, who were the two nations that were in the finals in Cameroon. What an amazing match to watch. What an amazing result. Goals were predicted to come, and they did came, but they came too early. And we've seen the outcome of total dedication. We have seen the outcome of support. We have seen the outcome of some of the things that we expect not to expect in football. And today, it has been proven that Egypt, the Pharaohs, has defeated the defending champion Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire, for another edition of the semi-final of the African Cup of Nations that is going to happen within the next couple of days. The final is going to be this weekend coming, and we have two electrifying semi-finals. Nigeria secured their spot this afternoon against Algeria, and we've seen the amount of goals that Nigeria scored against the most defensive team in the tournament by only conceding a goal before the Nigerian match. And they were playing against the most prolific scoring team that has scored about 12 goals before the match against Algeria, and they increased that number to I think 13 or 14 goals being scored so far. We've now seen the performance of Egypt. Do we think they are extraordinary to go against Senegal? Maybe, maybe not, but maybe possible, yes. Or do we think the Moroccans are going to be spectacular against a Nigerian side that is capable of scoring more goals? Again, maybe, maybe not, but we yet to see what happens next week. as next week is going to be the most interesting part of the tournament when you have four great nations of the African football that is going to contest against each other to book their place for the final of the African Nations Cup 2025 in Morocco. Thank you very much once more to Desmond for joining me earlier on, and all his analysis that he mentioned were on point, and I believe the Sierra Leone football that we want to see is the one that starts from grassroots. We not say grassroots, what we talk about them old back grassroots, because some of young people they're in position of grassroots. Now for what take them 22-year-old but then tell them say them 15 them. That's not grassroots. That is actually failing the nation. When you go and recruit boys who are 5-10 years older than their official age, and you're getting them to represent your country at the youth level, it is so totally wrong. Because by the time they qualify to go into the adult team, they will be in their 30s. We will not expect them to perform miracles after 2 seasons because they will be exhausted already. So please, go back to basic and start for recruits at the early age, maybe 8. Because at that age 8, you get a player they wish on Tenon begin develop a lot of skills whilst he was younger, and then skills in go begin be nurtured for me then get into the youthful elements of their football career. And they will be able to build from that one and go into youth football and break into semi-pro football and then break into pro football and represent their nation. That's the football we want to see in Sierra Leone, not the football of favoritism, not the football of cabalism, not the football of politics, and not the football of administrative popularity. That's not what we want to see, because that is what is happening right now. So if you're an administrator, go do your administrative work. Forget about what's in the happen at the pitch. If you now coach, go do your coaching. Forget about what's in the happen at the administrative desk. If you not player, go play you football at the pitch. And then they for consider for do. Not to forget begin to tell the administrator then and coach they're waiting for do. So until we not change that mentality in us alone, we are yet to be representing the country in various different capacities, when it comes to football and other elements of sporting disciplines. Then. So once more, I say thank you to Desmond for joining me, and I hope say I go able to forget you for the Nigeria and Morocco game. Interesting, and possibly also able to forget you for the Egypt Senegal game, when another repeat of the final in Cameroon. So until next time, on behalf of the Sierra Leone Media team and myself, I say thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to like our Facebook page and share the program. Have a wonderful weekend and hope to see you anytime soon. Next week, definitely, I'll be covering the 2 semi-final matches, and I'll keep you posted on that. Until next time, have a good evening.